You have this whole startup thing that came to Brazil like 2010, maybe 2008, but in Porto Alegre it took a little bit longer to start. But from 5 years from now, I think we created something special here.
Our state has a big economy, so we have a big port, we have a lot of factories, we have a lot of fields, we have a lot of technology. So there are a lot of traditional economic fields here which are ready to be disrupted. So like there are a lot of opportunities here to work, different from other states which they doesn't have a very modern economy. So I think it's a good place to invest.
We have several incubators, we have Technopuc Science and Technology Park, we have several co-working spaces, we have organizations that help us to foster and stimulate entrepreneurship like Sebrae, like Endeavor, like other entities. So what we try to do is try to join forces to create good conditions for entrepreneurs to develop their businesses. In Brazil, I think we have a unique situation. We have PUC. PUC is one of the three main private non-profit universities in Brazil. In the city, we also have the Federal University. The Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul is among the top universities in Brazil. And there is another university which is also among the top three universities, top three private non-profit universities. So if we put those three universities together, we are talking about 100,000 students in an area of 40 kilometers. So this place Porto Alegre in a very unique position of good universities.
PUC has I think maybe the sexiest technological park in Latin America, and it's very blowing in innovation, and you have companies there working close to the startups, and you have a startup incubator, and so you have a ecosystem, a local ecosystem there that is very rich.
I think we have one thing that is very important, that is human capacity, and scientific capacity. One of the challenges that we have is how can we transform this researches that are being done in the university into business, and how to generate richness out of it.
In Porto Alegre, we don't see as much as we want to see the interaction of big companies and startups.
We are talking about perhaps more complicated than the lack of money or infrastructure is the lack of mindset, or being attached to the wrong mindset, the mindset that reflects the past, not project the future. And in this regard, I think we have a huge problem to overcome.
It's very hard to work with innovative businesses here in Porto Alegre because of the traditional culture of the people living here.
It's a characteristic of innovative towns and ecosystems that we have a mix of people from all over the world. So if you go to Sweden, you see Indian people, Chinese people, Afghan people, Brazilian people working there, not to mention Silicon Valley. And here you probably saw only Brazilians, and not only Brazilians, but people from this region, this part of Brazil. And it's a problem because we listen to ourselves, we repeat ourselves, we have the confirmation bias, as a big problem. And that's why I insist that we have to look outside our region, outside our town. We have to force the connections. Otherwise, we will be unaware of our problems and blaming somebody else of our problems. Our problems are our problems. We created them. Some of us created these problems, and the problem is, even if you don't create the problem, you are facing the problem, you are suffering the problem. So I think we have an unconditional responsibility to change the way things are. The way to do that is to get connected with people that at least admit we are not at the best shape, and see the future passing by international cosmopolitan connections.